Jeez, mate. That is just paper, yeah? Uh-oh.
Damn it.
What did you do?
Jackpot.
Oh, wait, this is his place. This is Saul, the pillar. I recognize the pillar.
You know, you got your nest building squirrel, you got your whatever.
Whoa. Hang on. I'm on the right episode, right? I'm sorry, I'm panicking. Season 4, episode 5. Okay, I'm just checking. I'm like, did I skip ahead? I'm so paranoid.
Hey, where's the,
Hey, yeah. So this is his Saul. This is his Saul office. Sorry, I just interesting because I've just come off last episode and I was just calling for us a little bit of a pace increase or something to mix it up. Dude, this is that. This is exactly what I was kind of hoping to get. So this is great. We'll see where this goes. I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna like why this now? Because I feel like we're not close to this at all. Do you know what I mean? So very interesting. Also, where in the timeline? This is right, maybe towards the end of Saul. Yeah, it must be. What's the package, buddy? Because we never really saw this process at the end of Breaking Bad. We kind of cut and then we were at Hoover Guy and then Jimmy's already there. Like Saul is already in there when Walter gets in, do you know what I mean? So we never really saw this process, at least from what I can remember. And now I'm asking myself, why didn't we? Because clearly it seems to be significant in some way, at least to this show, right?
oh, right,
Fair play. It's been a while. Loyalty, dude. Come on. She's been well loyal. Good.
Guess,
It's been real.
that's it.
Yeah.
Quite a ride, huh?
Quite a ride. Name of the app. I'm still not convinced I've not skipped episodes. I checked, and I'm still nervous. Why? That's my question. Why are we here? Why are we seeing this now?
I need a new dust filter for my...
Yeah, we never saw any of this before, like leading to that. Interesting. I wonder if we're gonna stick with this theme, or whether that's gonna be almost like the black and white scenes we get as we start a new season. Are we gonna revisit? Like, do you know, like, how's that relevant? Okay, stop asking questions, Tyler. Just watch the episode. Hello and welcome to another Better Call Saul Sunday. Thank you for joining me today. Episode 5 of season 4. It's quite a ride, and we shall see how that ride goes. Flamingo check. Sorry, do you know what? I need to wear more shirts because this doesn't go with a It doesn't go with a t-shirt. It doesn't. I cop out and I put it on the microphone and it's that I did that last episode and I felt like it was a cop out. It was a cop out. Absolutely. Fair play to you. Fair play for calling me out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Don't do it again though. Hey. Know your place. Know your place. I apologise. I got a little heated. I'm so sorry. Get your flamingos. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna do the priest look today. We are. I should probably don the shorts at some point. That is true. I did it for like an episode and then they never came back. Okay, good. No. I needed to see this to know that I was on the right episode. Oh, it's not working. Damn. Okay, no, maybe he wouldn't make a good YouTuber. I'm sorry. Is this the first customer? No, he's gonna drive by. They're gonna drive by. Come on. Yes. Beautiful. Hello. Yeah, nice, good. I was gonna be like, how do you do that? How do you look casual? Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, man, I'd fail so hard. I'd just get on the desk, I'd get on the front desk, I'd panic. I'd panic. And I'd get on the front desk and just, like splay out and just do this. Hello there. Tactic number 34, full Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's all I'm saying. Get your lightsaber, forget it. No, don't do that. Put your lightsaber away.
It's best money can buy.
This is much better. Yes, play it cool.
Everyone wants these things. 6. See you later.
Privacy sold here.
Right, he's doing the thing of like, okay, no, privacy's important, get rid of the... I get it.
Privacy from who?
Come on, you know.
Like the government? The IRS?
Bingo.
So.
Mate, he's insane. The way that he like manipulates emotions is masterful. All of the things that he just did on the phone as the guy came in. Obviously the sign on the windows as well with destroying the phone and playing up to that message because he knows, and he saw as well, like the guy drove past and then came back. So he clearly read the sign, thought about it a second, kept driving and was like, wait, came back. So Jimmy knows that that it was the sign that made this guy come in. And so that's where destroying the phone came in and driving home that message. Then he gives the illusion that they're busy, that they're selling, that they're successful. It makes people want to buy, because this is how marketing works. If you persuade people that everyone wants what you're selling, everyone therefore wants it, even if they don't have it. Even if that is fabricated, they then want it, because it's like, well, everyone else has got it, I want it. And that sign that he put up of like, keep these, don't sell, busy, also linking back to the phone call at the beginning, making the sale 6 of them, all that stuff, that plus the sign 1 2 double whammy going in. It's like, yeah, we're busy, we're successful, people want this, and there's a reason they want this. That's the point of it, right? If people want it, it works. That's the illusion it gives. And do you know what I mean? Like, all of this stuff is driving towards reeling this guy in. It's just it's funny, it's so beautiful to watch. And comment on it, moralize it all you want, doesn't matter. He's good at this stuff.
Maybe you don't report every single penny. I mean, who does, right?
His language, who does, right? We all do it. It's normal. It's fine. I'm one of you. You're with me. We're together. Like, bridging that gap, right? Making that connection. It's important to make a sale.
How are you arranging payments? On the phone, and who's listening? They know every lick.
That's right, they know every lick. Again, the thing that he came in of, the guy was like, who's listening? And he was like, you know who. And then Jimmy specifically not being specific, right? Not saying who it is, which, one, increases the mystique of the situation, which is what got this guy in here in the first place. 2, promotes that paranoia of like, no, you can't say the name. 3, ensures that Jimmy doesn't mess up and says the wrong thing by saying, this is who we don't want listening to us. And then the guy's like, no, that's not who I thought at all. I was talking about something else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah, man.
Bam! They bring the hammer down.
This guy's so in.
I practice something we call information hygiene. Can't be tracked, especially if you use it only once.
Means he has to come back and buy another one.
Once per week. Once per day.
There we go. Not only securing the sale, securing the man's business. And that's what Jimmy deals in. And not business necessarily, but a transaction. Whatever that might be. He manipulates emotions and people to get the end result of what he wants. Usually to make money, to sell something, to exploit somebody for something. And he's such a master at it. And this scene is perfectly demonstrating that in so many little subtle ways.
How much are they?
Cheaper than an audit.
And that, sorry, I know that I'm analyzing every little thing here, but like that as well, how much are they? Doesn't give a specific number, compares it to something, which is such a clever technique to then say whatever you want. And then this guy's holding that in his mind of like, it's less than an audit if you're caught. If the thing that Jimmy knows he's afraid of, because he came back after reading that message, that paranoia's there. He's confirmed that he knows that this guy is susceptible to that. This paranoia of an audit is clearly doing something he shouldn't be, doesn't give a price less than an audit. It's like, well, can't argue with that, right? Sold.
Well, this was spoken for. My supply is very short.
Ah, come on. Beautiful.
Thanks again.
And he'll be back. Oh, mate, you got assassin written all over you. Yes, it is the stash that I'm looking at, okay? Just, hey, they've got a look, we all know it.
Welcome to the USA.
Mike?
Follow the signs for...
Oh, the job, whatever the job was at the end of last episode, that's what we're doing. Interesting, so we still don't know.
Keep the phone close by and I'll call you in about 20 minutes.
Hey, maybe I wasn't so far off with the assassin thing. Jeez. To be fair, I feel like it might be a double bluff. It kind of is presenting that way, and I feel like it's going to be really, maybe a little more innocent than that.
Put the hood on.
Kinky. Oh, it would be such a gag if you left him there for like an hour. Wasted opportunity, dude.
Where exactly?
So he's setting up the lab, the laundromat. Yeah, Gus is being very careful, isn't he? This is the home, the base of the operation that we know he goes forward with as a thing that's kind of integral to the workings of Gus.
How long will it take?
I want to say 7 months.
Right, 7 months. So is he creating the lab beneath, perhaps? perhaps? Because I'm guessing that's not there right now. And considering it's so long, 7 months, that's a long time to excavate and make something safe and install everything they need, perhaps. This is the thing as well, because did they start in Breaking Bad? I don't think Gale had been cooking at all, I want to say. I'm trying to remember back. Unless Gale had been cooking for a little bit and then Walter came in and was like, no, I need my partner. And then it was him and Jesse, and then Gale obviously came in afterwards. Because sorry, it's 7 months. I'm like, is it 7 months from now to Breaking Bad? That seems too short, but maybe. But I'm trying to remember the timeline of the operation. No, you've got to imagine that Gus had Gale working for him before Walter came in. We don't know. I don't know if we know, because I'm thinking back to that, because I remember Walter came in and it was presented like it was a brand new lab, state-of-the-art equipment, but maybe Gus and Gale had a talk. Maybe Gale had been, giving him what he needed up until that point, and maybe Gale just cleaned it all down. I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe I'm being an idiot and I just don't remember, but I don't know if we actually know that. So sorry, because he says 7 months, and I'm like, is that 7 months until we get but I don't know the timeline. Did Gale cook before Walter, or was Walter the first one in the lab underneath? Because I don't know. I'm speculating. I don't know.
56 feet down with no blasting working.
56 feet down. Yeah. So he's creating the lab. Buddy, is he going to have to live here, not going outside for 7 months? I mean, you did a whole thing of him. Do you know what I mean? It was so secretive. The bag on the head. You can't go outside. Is he going to have to be here for like 7 months?
That's what I thought.
I can say
Thank
no.
you for your time.
Pardon.
Is it too long? Wow. Buddy. Huh?
And what do you call the judge? Or better still, Your Honor.
Oh, hello.
The arresting officers took the first part of my guy's statement before he was Mirandized.
Why would you even?
Oh, she's got him.
This kid needs a chance to turn his life around, not rot in prison and join a gang. Up to you.
Good on Kim, because she's right. Unfortunately, too often it happens and is the case that people go to jail and it's a downward spiral from there. Because unfortunately, as much as we want to think that jails are good things, and it's like, in theory, they're not bad. Bad people do bad things, they break the law, whatever, they go to jail. That's how it works. But unfortunately, a lot of the time when people go to jail, it's not I've talked about this a lot on my channel before, it's not a rehabilitation service to the people. It is just incarceration, not in any way trying to make them better. And unfortunately, it gives them avenues into places that perhaps they are going to have bad influences affecting their life going forward when they get out in even worse ways, right? Exactly what Kim just said. But also at the same time, if you serve time in jail, so hard to get a job after, which is insane. We should be looking to rehabilitate people and get them back into society to give them the best chance they can possibly get at becoming a model citizen, someone who can partake in society and their community and be a force for good. And to do that, it's integral that you give them the basic foundation to be able to do that. And unfortunately, prison, and sorry, I know Americans, I'm sorry, I know the prison system in America isn't the best, let's say, at rehabilitating.
4 months probation.
What happened to 6?
You're annoying me.
You can't play chicken with me. I invented chicken.
I invented egg, mate. Pipe down.
You don't have time for this.
I only have one other client, and it's a bank. I'm happy to say the defense and prosecution have reached an agreement.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna have a probation officer on my ass for 4 months.
Dude, she got you down. Chill.
Here's what you're gonna do. You will go straight to your grandfather's restaurant, and you will beg him for a job.
Yes.
If he tells you to clean the toilet, you clean the toilet.
Unfortunately, mate, yeah, get back on track.
You will keep your nose clean. You understand?
Buddy, no sass.
Because if you don't, you will go to jail.
Yeah.
Really picture it.
Yeah. This is the thing. So she's come back here, and if she's getting a little bit disillusioned with her job right now, maybe it was a moral thing. Maybe it started her mind on this track of like the accident and everything, and of why am I doing this? And then obviously we got the Mesa Verde scene with the head honcho, and he was like, come here, come see this. And she saw his ambitions for expansion. And it's like, maybe there was an element of her kind of going, is this what I'm doing this for? Making a rich guy richer? Making a successful guy more successful? successful. Who am I helping here? Why am I doing this? Am I really doing this? Because what was it? I suppose the point of that, what we saw character-wise from Kim was that she wanted to make something of herself, which I think is fair, absolutely valid. But that doesn't answer the question. That's only a certain level of why. It's like, yeah, you can absolutely embark on a career with that in mind, and I think that's enough to get you in the door. But then once you're in the door, once you are that, once you are killing it and you're doing well and you're a lawyer and you know your stuff and you know what you're doing, it's like, right, I'm on the path to that. But it's like, then you're in that, you're in the trenches. And I feel like maybe Kim's starting to ask herself the question of like, am I just in this, like I say, to make this rich man richer? Do I want to be that? Do I want to be that person? Do I want to be that kind of lawyer? And the reason I'm asking this, wondering about it, is because now we've seen her last episode and obviously this episode going here with this guy. She's bringing herself back down almost and being like, I'm trying to help people. She's trying to get this young guy out of jail, right? We had that scene before with Bill where she was trying to get him down, and there was that line that I focused on of he's going to go to jail, he might join a gang, and she's trying to prevent that. She's trying to make sure that this guy has a life, that he doesn't get in that system of crime that is so hard to get out of if you get into it, right? And to me that speaks of her intent and her mindset right now. And that's why I'm asking the questions of, is the Mesa Verde thing, making the rich guy richer, is that all she wants from this now? I think perhaps there's been a little bit of a shift in motivation for her. Maybe she wants to still do this, but maybe she doesn't quite want to do it in the same way that she had been, right? Which is fair. And I think her coming back down and actually coming back and trying to help people is maybe something that she as a lawyer needs right now. And I think it's completely natural for her to start asking the question of like, okay, yes, I want to make something of myself. Okay, cool, I've made something of myself. I'm here. Now what? What do I want to do with that power? And I think what we're seeing here is a shift in her exercising that power. It goes a lot of the way to show where she's at as a person, right? It shows that she is a good person, and it shows that she wants to help people. She's not just in this to do the job. She's in this to help the little guy. And actually, like that, again, that line of, I don't want him to go to jail, I'm going to join a gang, that's the possibility. And then he's in that loop and it's really hard to get out of that. And now this guy's showing her a bit of sass and she's like, dude, if you don't get it together, you are going to go to grown-up jail. That's your life. That is going to affect you in a huge way. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't say these things to a person as a lawyer, I feel like, unless you care about them, right? It's not her job at this point to be pleading with him, as small as it might be. It's not her job to be like, you gotta listen to me or you're gonna end up there. In theory, if she was cold, if she was calculated, if she was just doing her job, she'd be like, right, I've done it, this is what I got you, go ahead, live your life, do what you want, I've done my job. But she's not doing that. Twice now at least we've seen her with Bill first and now here with this guy, and it shows, like I say, a lot of where she is emotionally right now and what she's striving for and what she wants. And it's really interesting. To take this one step further, it's interesting to think about where she seems to be heading. With the judge last episode and possibly earning the ire of Mesa Verde, not being able to pursue being a lawyer in the way she wants, perhaps Kim leaves the career behind her completely. The interesting part is when you consider what Jimmy expects. Later in this episode, we see he still plans to retain his law office with Kim. If she's no longer a lawyer, it gives reason to him not pursuing that or looking to alternate means to practice Saul, and also gives rise to problems in his and Kim's relationship. It wouldn't be fair, but I could see him blaming her for ruining their dream. It's a stupid reason, but it's very human, and given to high emotion, I wouldn't put it past Jimmy.
And know this, I'm not gonna do a damn thing about it next time.
Oof, okay, well that just reverses what I was kind of getting at, but whatever, Kim, alright mate, just come on, like work with me. I think that was tough love though. I think she's just trying to get him to listen.
Can you work with the TV on?
They're sweet. I love how they've kind of reached this level of comfort in their relationship. Perhaps that scene that we started with was just to reaffirm in the audience's mind that's where we're going. Because it's easy to forget, honestly. Watching the show, it's really easy to forget where we're actually going with Saul.
Just realize there's something I need to do at work.
That thing of he was trying to settle, trying to relax, and he couldn't at home. He needs something more from life than just that. Yeah, is this, what is it? He's scamming the till? It's very reminiscent of an addiction, isn't it? Again, I mean, I say that like we haven't confirmed he's addicted to this kind of thing. I think we have at this point, right? At least from my mind.
Private phones. Beat it, narc.
Right, so no, he was just trying to sell, oh god, yeah, the doghouse again. He needs more. He needs to succeed. This speaks to his addiction. because he's coming out. He was relaxed at home. It was 9 p.m. He went out and he was like, don't wait up, which implies that he's going to be out for the night, or at least for a while. And it's like he was bored. He couldn't relax. He didn't quite have that dopamine hit with just chilling out at home, watching TV and winding down. He couldn't quite wind down. His mind was too active. He needed that hit almost, you know what I mean? And so he came out and he did the only thing that he can right now, right? The source of that in his life right now, which is this job. It's finding the loopholes, I suppose, of using that job to fulfill his need in regards to this addiction that he has, to succeed, keep making money, get those dopamine hits. Oh, hello. Man, that is a cool head tattoo. I'm not gonna lie to you. Dude, drive away. Everyone's going for a reason. Yikes, mate. Don't do it. This is the thing. He's seen this. Everyone went away. It's dangerous. It's scary. But I feel like that's what gets the highest hit for him. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's going to try it. This is high risk, high reward. And I feel like that's what he needs to satisfy that slipping Jimmy, that addiction that we know he has. It's what I feel like we're seeing play out here.
Hi, how are you?
Because he should not be doing this, I feel like. My man.
Did you get that ink in Las Lunas?
Las Cruces.
Oh, seems like a reasonable gent.
But I used to be a lawyer. Emphasis on used to be.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned from working with my clients is the man's always listening.
He's sticking with that shtick, isn't he?
If you want to talk to your friends on the inside, there is a simple solution.
What's that?
He's interested. Hey, he's hooked this guy.
It can be hidden in any number of places.
Don't. Okay, fair. Yeah, whatever.
How much?
Hey, beautiful. Well done. I do feel like, though, this might bite him in the bottom later. I don't know. My man. Okay, they're back.
Give me your money.
Ah, come on.
Hand it over.
I gotta go.
And this is the problem. It's demonstrating, the show demonstrating, right? Because I'm talking about this addiction and that's why he's here. And the show kind of doing its due diligence, which fair play to it, you know what I mean? Of the dangers of giving into your addiction. As easy, like, and that's not to, you know, cast judgment of like, oh, you should be stronger, you shouldn't be, like, addiction is addiction and it's insidious and you can't blame somebody for falling victim to its sway. Because anyone that's dealing with addiction, it's hard. It's so hard. And I would never blame anybody for giving into it because it's just something that takes over. It's almost not down to you anymore. And that's what makes it so dangerous. But it is also, when you're kind of representing this kind of stuff in media, it is also important alongside that to kind of put this thing of, okay, yeah, it's hard, it is. And to some extent, it can feel like it's inevitable. But if you give yourself to it completely, it's gonna bite you in the end, right? It is gonna have an adverse effect. And I feel like that's what this is here. Yeah. Like, I feel like this entire scene and this process of him coming out and doing what he's doing here is a huge allegory for addiction.
What happened?
Mugged on the way home, yeah?
I got mugged.
Yeah. That bugs me. The fact that a little bit of ice got caught, that's gonna drip. It's not that important. It's really not. It's not. It's just a bit of water, mate. Just try to get over it.
The hell's the matter with me?
Now comes the self-loathing. That's the thing. When you give into your addiction, Jimmy's not ignorant of what's happening, I feel like. And when you give into your addiction, because you need to, because you don't know anything else, because you don't know how to, like, you don't want to. This is the thing with addiction. You never want to go back to it, but you have to. It's not something necessarily that you can control, at least not super easily. And then as soon as you've done it, you've given in. Self-loathing. And that's what eats away. And then you can't stop because despite that self-loathing, you keep going back to it again. Like, he's likely to go back. I mean, we know he goes back to it again with Saul. And it's the cycle of self-loathing and giving into that addiction again and again and again, self-loathing again and again and again, that just destroys you.
It sounds like you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And he's hiding things from Kim as well, because she's coming in and saying stuff like that. Bless her. But she doesn't know the full truth, so she can't properly help him. not deeply. It's not her fault, but that unfortunately is a consequence of him not being honest.
Back in the day, I would have spotted those low-rent little skeeves from a mile away, and they would have known not to roll me.
How would they have known that?
That was one of them.
Those days are over.
Yeah.
Are they? Jimmy was trying to tell her here, I think. In his own way. He says, after a pause, I was one of them. He's full of self-loathing right now. He said himself, what's wrong with me? I think we as the audience know where that comes from. I think that line shows he knows there's something in him he can't control, but I don't think he identifies it as addiction yet. I think that line is honest. He doesn't know why he does it. That, plus this loathing right now, I think is in the way of him being truly honest, because he can't be. He can't be honest about an addiction he doesn't truly identify in himself. I think he wants to tell her, and I think in the line we hear shows us he tries in his own way without really knowing what it is that's wrong. Naturally, Kim doesn't pick up on it and he doesn't press her on it, but it feels to me as if it's more evidence of his addiction. A cry for help he doesn't know how to sound.
But,
What?
you know what?
Sorry, these are all post-edit additions, hence the hacked way I've presented all this, but I think that expression plus the long pause supports my previous theory. He wants to tell her, either doesn't quite know what to say because he doesn't know what it is himself, or is struggling to admit to what he did for the more obvious reason of did bad thing equals don't want person I love to think badly of me. I go so far as to say it's not identifying his addiction though, as well as the second thing. Yeah, it's so interesting. This show is almost, I find myself thinking right now, focused on a man dealing with addiction and what that addiction does to a person. And then it's obviously added the caveat to that of Chuck, who exacerbated all of that. That's kind of what the show is, at least at this point.
I might call that shrink.
Good. Right. There you go, yeah. Again, with addiction, it's this thing of, like I've said, you give into it, you can't really control it. Self-loathing's the next step. And then the attempt to be better and to do everything you can, fueled by that guilt and that depression and that sadness of where you went to again, of trying to avoid it. And I think that's why he's getting rid of this pain and trying to avoid a future that repeats, because that's what addiction is. It's repeating the same pattern again and again and again and again.
You're supposed to meet me in court an hour ago.
I'm freaking out. I can't go to jail.
Okay, level head, mate. You got this. You can get her out. Yeah, nice.
I can't promise you no jail time, but if you don't come with me right now to court, the judge is going to issue a bench warrant, and then jail is a done deal.
Good on her.
You can do this.
She's so focused. And I do think that, yeah, this thing of her coming back here to the courthouse is this thing of refocusing herself in why she wants to do this.
Trust me, I'm good at this.
She is, yeah.
We'll do this together.
Yeah, good on her. It's almost ironic the way that she is good with her clients here. And it's almost the show demonstrating how good she could be and would be, I think, in regard to Jimmy, if Jimmy was honest with her and she knew what battle he was fighting. It almost makes it more tragic, because I think she could genuinely help him at this point, but she can't help him she can't do anything until he's honest with her.
Paige?
We've got a huge problem.
I don't know what to tell you, Paige. Not right now.
Tim, this is
I'm sorry.
Is she avoiding Mesa Verde and focusing her time on this stuff? It's very telling, isn't it? Right, and I feel like she's gonna maybe feel a bit of backlash from Mesa Verde, if not now, at some point.
I'm so sorry. Let's get this fixed right now.
It's fixed.
Right.
I had to pull everyone on the floor to retype and proof the submission because we didn't have the files, and your paralegal didn't know where they were.
Damn.
Really like to apologize to Kevin personally as well, if he's available.
He's not. Let me be very clear.
Yeah.
The mistake is not the issue here. I need to know your head is in this.
I don't know that it is.
You made us a promise that Mesa Verde would be your sole focus.
It's not.
We're not a client you hang up on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sorry, Paige.
Oh.
It'll never happen again.
Okay. I feel like it's going to. Yeah, it's definitely demonstrating where her focus is, where she's at. She's distancing herself from Mesa Verde. She can't deal with it. She needs to move away from that. That's what she's doing right now. Keep it together.
Ich kotze hier gleich ins Auto. I'm going to throw up. I suggest you don't.
Spank that face, mate.
I take the Dramamine, but it doesn't help.
Bless him. Hey, you can't control it, mate.
Over there?
I'm just going to stop it for a second. We're 10 minutes off finishing the episode. I think between last episode and this episode, I'm really enjoying this episode a lot more. And I feel like it's the device that was used at the beginning that almost artificially, because the pacing hasn't necessarily increased. The pacing, I think, in this episode is the same as last episode, more or less. But I think the difference is that, like I say, that device used at the beginning to like artificially almost give you the impression that the pace is increasing. Because we have that scene at the beginning and it's like, whoa, okay, wait, what's happening? Oh, and then you go right back to the show as it was, and it's so interesting how that then colors your opinion of where you go in the episode. And I think the show kind of needed that to kind of mix up the pacing a little bit, and I think it is artificial. I don't think it matters, right? Because the effect is still the same, because the pace hasn't increased, but it feels like the pace has increased because of the first scene. Really interesting. What's this guy gonna say?
He's our dusting kid.
I feel like this guy's the guy. Mike's sensing it. He's on edge. He's on tenterhooks, some might say.
Before I can begin excavation, I must support the existing structure.
I like this guy.
There can be no activity visible from the surface.
It's so interesting we're seeing this process.
And the machinery, excuse me.
Take your time, mate. I like to see a professional at work. That's all I'm saying. I like this guy. I don't know what it is.
Going this deep, which means blasting.
What's the time frame? I feel like that's important.
I can waterproof and fabricate casts for the retaining walls and pour concrete.
Oh, say concrete again. I like that. I like how you said that, mate.
And pour concrete.
It's like a hit. Snort again. I love this guy. What is this? Absolutely filthy.
A project like this.
Hard.
Many things can go wrong.
Yeah. This is the guy, huh? Right. It's interesting. So the thing that made Gus come in is not the time frame. It's the thing of due diligence. This guy knows all of the things that could go wrong. He was much more thorough than the first guy.
It's impossible. Difficult.
Not impossible.
Expensive. Not quite impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Gustavo Fring.
Beautiful. There we go. Oh, hello, you're back here. It's important that we remember that Jimmy is in the throes of a relapse right now.
Howard,
Oh, hello. Oh, mate, we actually... Oh, you're not doing okay.
everything okay?
No.
Everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you're okay?
Nice that you asked.
Supposed to be in court in about 25 minutes.
Buddy, what's going on?
You ever have insomnia?
Yeah,
Really?
it's a nightmare, mate.
Wouldn't wish it on the worst enemy.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
Don't they have pills for that?
Oh, Howard. Oh, no. There's a reason we haven't seen him in a while, right?
What's eating you?
What do you think,
Jimmy.
Right?
I think I've shared enough.
Right.
More than enough.
Bless him. And that there shows his intent. What Kim caught him up on. And what he did, and he did do that. I think it was, I think where I came down on that in the end was that he did... Kim was right. But what this scene shows is that Howard's intent was not to harm. He did have Jimmy's best interest at heart. And actually what Kim did was show him that perhaps that while his intent might have been what it was, the result was not perhaps what Howard might have intended. Kim was perfectly right and valid to point that out. But what we've just seen there in him holding back and not opening up, very reminiscent obviously of what Kim was saying of like, that's when you chose to say what you said to Jimmy. He's holding himself in check and not wanting to make the same mistake. Bless him. And like I say, it shows you where his intent lies and how honest actually his intent was. And that's sad. Bless him. And that makes you as the audience want to help him, want him to get help, want him to be better.
You do yourself a favor and you go see someone.
Yeah.
Thanks. I've already seen someone.
Really?
Twice a week.
Damn. And this is showing Jimmy it's not helping at all.
Is he any good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, and you're still not okay. I mean, this is the thing. Therapy's not a be all and end all. Therapy helps, but you still got to do work. And that's not to blame Howard, right? I mean, insomnia does suck. But it's a process. The whole thing's a process, not an instant fix.
Good seeing you, Howard.
You too.
It's sad to see Howard like this. It's interesting as well that we're seeing his representation change so rapidly because we've only really seen him, and the more that I think about his path and his journey in the show. So sorry, finish my thought. The image that we have of Howard is very pristine, very put together. I've commented on it, several times of how to do he is, right? He's very particular about the way he presents himself, the way he conducts himself. And that versus what we just saw here is such a rapid change, such a huge change in his representation. It's really sad to see that. At the same time, it's understandable considering what we know of his path and where he's come from and what's happened, how he's got there. Because not only obviously the stuff with Chuck dying and what he said to Jimmy post the funeral, because obviously that is like a huge factor in why he's where he's at right now. At the same time, just before that happened, he had a huge breakup with Chuck, which I know at the time, at least to my interpretation, affected Howard a great deal, even though Howard, I feel like, was absolutely valid in how he behaved in, you know, cutting Chuck out and doing what he did. That was kind of the first step. And then obviously exacerbated on this feeling of like, did I make the right choice there? Was Chuck dying? Then Howard putting the blame on himself for Chuck's death and the events leading up to it. And so it's like, do you know what I mean? You can track that path, and like me looking at it, I'm like, I get how he got here. Absolutely. Like, it makes absolute sense, and I think it was happening even before Chuck died. So it's like a blink and you miss it, right? We haven't been with Howard for a while. We haven't seen him for a few episodes, at least not since Kim interacted with him and chewed him out. And it's really sad to see where he's kind of degraded to and how all of these events are catching up to him. It's almost stark in the contrast of when we last saw him versus now, and where we see him here, and he looks so rough. It hits you harder. It's quite shocking to see him that way.
Community service.
Oh, yeah?
Well, it looks like you completed your hours.
Nice.
Have you thought about what you're going to do once your PPD is up?
I have some plans.
Which are?
Such as?
In 9 months and 24 days, I will get my law license back.
Okay.
My partner and I will get a new office.
Right, we're still on this.
It'll be like it was.
Okay.
Bigger and better.
I feel like that's going to change.
I'm going to have more clients. I'm going to win more cases.
Right.
I'm going to be a damn good lawyer, and people are going to know about it.
Okay.
You need that. Yeah. In his tone, in the way he presented that, the way he said that, he needs that right now. That's what's driving him. That's what's keeping him sane, maybe. Which is interesting, considering I don't feel like before he gets there, I don't think that is going to stay consistent. Interesting to note at this point that his mind is still there, though. Right. Really interesting insight into where everybody's kind of at mentally. Yeah, obviously Jimmy right there. Howard, we've just had in the bathroom. You know, we're seeing more and more Kim where she's at and how she's moving away from Mesa Verde. How Mesa Verde and her relationship with them is suffering because of where, like I say, emotionally she's at. And like I say, really interesting way that they've influenced your perception of the pacing of the show and how it influences this episode. Yeah, considering the first scene. And again, it reminds you as the audience where we're heading. Interesting episode. But I did enjoy it. So yeah, we're halfway through season 4. We are now entering the latter half of the season, so we shall see what we get. But that was a video. That was quite a ride, episode 5. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe down below. Like the video, comment what did you think of the episode, let me know. If you'd like to support me, there are some links in the description. I've got Patreon, YouTube memberships, exactly the same on both sites. It just depends where you prefer to go. Early access to all my videos down there as well, and some other stuff. If you're interested, have a look down there. Thank you as always to those who do support me. Genuinely thank you for your support. If you want to keep the good times rolling, check out this video right here. It has been recommended for you specifically by YouTube, mate. Hey, don't let them down. Click on it. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, thank you once more, and I'll see you soon.